This course is for the students who have never been into the ERP, but they want to grasp the knowledge of the ERP, how the functionality works. Even it is applicable for those who are working in different domains, in different industries. And okay, so we'll start the session now. Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation is a fancy name, but in the backend is nothing but the ERP software. Like we heard about the SAP, we heard about Oracle. Again, they have their own different naming and versions. But why the ERP gap is very unique? Uh, because we maybe most of the people are working in as a developers or technical side, from engineering side, from software side. But ERP is little different, not little different, it's totally different. Yes, in that also we have the development. And there are so many people working in different domains, but you will, unless you don't understand the business, you will not understand the ERP. So before even learning about the ERP, you need to understand what is the reason of its existence and why there is a need. And regarding me, I'm not charging any money for this, but it's been requested by my colleagues and my friends that, okay, so tell us something about the dynamics. So that's why I'm giving my session. But if you want to get updated, so I'm sharing the link of my blog, YouTube channel, and you can also about the LinkedIn post, which you can ask the questions directly there. All right, so I'm working on the ERP since 2011 and Dynamics from 2014. I've seen the X2012, the old version, and currently the new version. Again, if you are getting confused about the name, forget about it. That's not the purpose. So today we'll see, understand the organization, how organization exists and what is the need of the organization and what is required to run the organization. And we'll understand the management hierarchy. It will help you to work, whether you work on Dynamics or not, but it will give you the overview how the organization works. The problem with us is that in India, we get the chance to work in big MNC companies and you will not have a complete business cycle. The outsourcing companies are there, you don't know what is the invoice. But if you go to if you see the small companies like small construction companies or small supermarkets, even the grocery stores, they are in the complete business cycle. Yes, it's not on a large scale, it's on a small scale, but you will see the complete flow of the cash. There's a debts, there is receivable, payable, blah blah blah. But but the problem with the most of the IT work, guys working, they can't see this process. Okay, they're coming daily out to the office, only reporting to the team leader and going home. That's it. I guess that's the majority of the case. Then we'll see the regulatory requirements. You will have some idea about it. Then then there is a common business processes in any organization, HR, supply chain, and finance. Then we'll also see about the career opportunities. Now, before you go with the dynamics, before we go for the commercial, let us see even the organization, your home, everyone's home. Our mother, how she manages the finance. She literally does the bookkeeping. There are receivable payables. So what is receivables? Your mother records on the paper, on the slip, or on the book that she received this one money salary from her employer. Maybe she receives a money from as a pocket money from her husband, or maybe she is expecting some money from her relative or sister which she has given before. So there is a bookkeeping, right? Even there is a payables. You go for your mother, okay, mom, I need to pay my school fees. She will write it down in the book. That is nothing but payables. Now there are two transactions in that. One is kind of virtual transaction and one is actual transaction. For example, as a kids, your monthly fees every month is 500 rupees for 12 months. But in actual, that is not expensed out. And one transaction is that when she actually pays to the school or she actually gives it the money. So Here, any confusion? I mean, I just need yes or no answer from you. Hello?
No, no, Muzaffar. Everything's good.
Yeah. So your mother does the bookkeeping, and it's nothing
Yeah.
but accounting. I mean, a receivable, payable, and also part of money she always saves somewhere else so that for the some future events. All this cycle is I am telling because it is this is the first hand experience of our accounting. So ERP is the everyday process from every organization, even starting at your home. But it's not necessary to use the software. And also,
Mhm.
ERP is nothing but an extension of an accounting software. It's accounting software. Then multiple modules has been added. So when I started my first job in ERP, I was confused because there was no one to guide. Okay, I
Mhm.
have my friends to work on the coding side, C sharp, how to create the classes, how to do the inheritance, what is object oriented, how to do the integration. But I don't know what is invoice. There is a delivery note and
Mhm.
there is invoice. I was also hesitant to ask why there is a delivery note, why there is an invoice, why there is a PO. So all these things we will go through that. Now, there are different organization types. Private, like for example, you can open your own company in UAE or in India or wherever country you are. There is proprietorship, partnership, private limited, LLC, blah blah blah. All this comes under the private companies. Then we have a government or public entity type. And the government entity is now is I mean they create I mean they establish this organization where they receive the funds from their respective ministries.
Mhm.
They're also called as public entity. So this is a common word. I mean, you should able to understand when you they will ask organization types or when they speak commonly, then it is not the new word for you. Ah, okay, this is the private organization. I know this is a government organization. For example, in UAE, they have Ministry of Health. It is a government organization. Then there is semi-government
Mhm.
organization. Now, what do you mean by semi-government organization? It is private, but it is funded by, supported by government organization.
Government.
Yeah, for example, most of the thing they start the services, but they will tell to renew your passport or something, you have to go to only one organization. Like in India, they have e-Seva, yeah, here Tehsil we have in UAE. So these
Mhm.
semi-government organizations are there. And then we have a non-profit organization like Red Crescents or Thai societies are there. They receive funding as a donation and they make the expenses based on the funding only. I mean the donations. Before we
Okay.
move on, you may heard the word entity and there is a business unit. So what is entity? Any of the not from the top, whether it is private, it is government, semi-government or non-profit, if it is registered legally, it is called legal entity. All right.
Mhm.
And now, why is it called legal entity? Why organization types are defined? How you, first of all, how you open the company? It's you go to the government office, you register your company, you buy legal name, you buy the legal trade license, then you have the bank name associated with your company name, correct? And on your
Yes.
company name, you have to pay the tax,
Correct.
correct? I mean, tax is you're paying the tax, right? Even if you have your own company, you have to pay the tax. Now, so that is called legal entity. Mostly you have, but you should understand what is most precisely and what is called business unit. Now, I'll give you best example in UAE. What happened before tax was introduced? People were having like there was one big construction company was there. They were having their garage, small unit. They were having the stores, different unit. So they created as a different small companies, and they even also they were doing accounting also. So they were calling these all as business unit. No, not business unit, legal entity only. They were calling it. It was wrong, by the way. When government introduced the tax, they said you should have only one legal entity in the accounting, which should be taxable. Then what they did, they created all these legal entities as business units, small business units within one legal entity. For example, my company name is ABC, whatever it is. Under that only, I can have a different business units. So this is clear. Any questions on this organization types? These are basic organization types. Google it.
Yeah,
You can
clear.
understand and more. Okay. So these are the organization types. So this is what we are talking about, the organization entity or business unit. The legality of entity means it is registered legally. It has been it has the legal trade license. Name is there. It's not easy. It's a long process. If you just do the inquiry, I mean, everyone is over 18 years old. Just go do the research and try to understand what is required to open the company. Whether in UAE or in India, it's free. I mean, just put your number. They will only call and just ask the so many stupid questions. You will get the free training. You understand?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, try. Yeah, you can have your own small company in just in case maybe in future it will be beneficial. Nobody guides in our family that okay, you can open your company. Small company you can open, and the more it is sold, the more it may become valuable, and you may get the business chance also. That is like a side tip. And what is the next slide? Okay, no, actually, I'm jumping to the next slide and I come back here. Now, what is the regulatory requirement? Now, if I open the company, based on the company type, I have to follow some rules. Otherwise, they may give me huge penalty. I'll be fined enormously that I may end up in jail also. Because I'm opening the company, what they will do, they will ask, you should do the audit filing. If I'm opening a private limited. All right. Let's say you open the company and the company rule is that you have to do quarterly audit filing from these companies. And I should follow the labor law. You have employee working under you, right? Some countries requires compulsory insurance, and you have to record their salaries, record their additions and deductions. Otherwise, you will end up in a problem. And every transaction, you should record properly the tax. Now, we have seen the first example of the matter, right? All these things are not there because it's not a company, but it's accounting transaction. But accounting transaction to follow with certain rules, these are the things. In India, what is the tax? GST. In UAE, what is the tax? They have VAT. Then also some firms which is very big public entities and the semi-government organization or semi-government organization, they have to do also IT audits. I mean, who has given permission, whether he has given permission by following the procedure. All right. Then they have some ISO audits. What is ISO audits? Like 9001 2015 certification. In India, you have seen on the helmets, right? Every helmet have this logo, correct?
Yeah.
So it's not just logo. It means somebody did the testing audit. They have crushed like thousand, more than 1,000 helmets, and they did the testing. Okay, this is the strength capacity. And they have to, because as per the government organization, they have to provide the safety results of blah blah whatever it is. Then there's some other compliances. Government send there some different audit teams. Now this is big headache. Oh my God, how should I do the audit filing? They will tell, okay, I need this data, I need this report, I need a list of account transaction with username, what is the account type, what was the date of transaction, what is the voucher number. So you cannot do with your normal system, right? You need a software for that. And if it is a public entity, especially if it is a public entity like Reliance, they have shares in the market, correct? And for the company which is having the shares, they should have a standard ERP system. They don't say the name of the ERP system. They just say that this is very compulsory for the share market, for the company which is public entity, which they have the shares. Okay, actually I missed that part. The public entity, government entity is there, public entity. Government entity also sometimes they call public entity, it's vice versa. Also public entity which has their shares public. So it's a common little confusion will be there. We will see people speaking these two things. So these compliances are there. It's too much actually. Now currently I'm working with one of the KPMG companies. They are asking, I mean, I'm working with one of the organization and that organization is being audited by the KPMG. They're asking these things, these things, these things, these things. I don't, but I have no need to worry. I can simply export from Dynamics some files. I'm providing the evidences. Okay, evidence is there. I'll give you one simple example. What they will do, even you're working as a fresher or working as a user, it will be very clear. Somebody will ask and come to you. I don't have permission to one module. Can you give me this permission? I'm your best friend, right? Daily I'm smoking with you, going party with you, drinking tea with you. Now you and me are very close. So one day I'm asking you, can you give me one access to this module? I do not have the access. Maybe he do not have any bad intention. You have given him access, correct? So what
mm,
KPMG company, what they will do, they will tell you, okay, give me the list of users. You will give him the list of users. And they'll tell you, okay, what permissions are given to this all these users, they will take it down. Then they will ask, what is the procedures? For example, if it's somebody from the accountant team, he should have 6 roles. If somebody from the HR, he should have 5 roles. If somebody like a general user, like a normal employee, he should have only this role. He'll compare that procedure and he will check your friend name. Oh, but he will just pick random. And in the random, your friend name is picked up. Okay, this guy is a normal user, but he also have the access to the HR. It's a big problem. Okay, so this is the procedure following. How to be compliant. So even no matter where you are working, make sure you read your procedures, be in a limit to avoid in trouble. So this is one of the thing
Sure.
required for the companies to run, and for this you need ERP system. Now another headache. India has one law, Dubai has one law. Within UAE, if it is like free zone or not free zone, again headache. There is a different accounting. Saudi has different accounting. Every country has their own accounting. Europe has their compliance. USA have their own compliance. Now in MNC company, which is having 3, 4 companies, right? So what they should do? They will die. I mean, just imagine there is no ERP system. It's a mess up. You're an owner of MNC companies or you're working in MNC companies, whether you're accountant or support. I'm just imagine the headache. That's why top ERP systems help in that case, like SAP, Oracle, Dynamics. And there is no bad ERP or good ERP. Remember that. It depends on the implementation. Big companies, they failed so many SAP implementation. Even I have seen Dynamics implementation as a failure. Just Google it out and you will be surprised to check more than 50% is failure. Yes, it is true. Working with the best people, best companies, best industrial experts, still they fail the ERP system because it's not easy. Okay, it's not like a construction of the building because you have to touch 1,000 points.
mm,
Okay, and that's where the
mm.
opportunity comes. And I'll come to the discussion about the opportunity, then you will have a clear idea. So this is why the need of the ERP is in. Now it's clear now why the ERP is required, correct? The first thing when I
Yeah.
open the company, it's to meet the regulatory requirements. Regulatory is a general word. Like under regulatory requirements, these are like audit filing or the labor law or what the maybe the international law or which is compulsory legally to me follow. All right. And
Muzaffar, when you say failure of the ERP, in terms of compatibility, you're saying,
sorry.
or any business matter? When you say the failure of the ERP, any ERP can be a failure. So whether it is in terms of compatibility,
I'm not understanding. You can speak in Hindi if you want. There's no problem actually.
नहीं मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि आपने बोला कि कोई भी ERP फेलर हो सकता है।
हाँ,
तो वो
yes, yes.
फेलर किस टर्म्स में फेलर हो सकता है कि वो इन टर्म्स ऑफ कंपैटिबिलिटी में, बिजनेस मैपिंग में,
Yes. No. Okay.
वो
Now, what
मेनली
you
क्या
asked,
रीजन हो
what you
सकते हैं?
asked the reason for the ERP failure. Now, one of the major ERP failure is that I've seen like from the user side, there are people who get the ERP and they move and they get the big commission like black money under the table in the contract. Now, this guy,
हम्म,
he listens everything to the vendor. He cannot provide the fair justice. He may end up in the failure. Too much power is given to the one guy and he doesn't know about the ERP and he started implementing. For example, I worked with one guy. He was, from the client side. He was telling me the account number series are there. No, like account number starts with 1, 2, 3, 4. Just for information, like account number series 1 is the assets, and account number series 4 is
हम्म,
expenses. Muzaffar, why you are booking this number 1, 2, 3? Why there is you're jumping to directly 4?
हम्म,
That is like I mean to say there is no knowledge of the ERP, and one of the thing is that people resistance is there, and there is not a committee. It depends on the committee, the organization committee, which they should force their users to adapt to the change, and also they should ensure that the software is reliable. I mean, it is mapping their business requirements. If it is not mapping in the customization, they should able to pay.
हम्म।
There are failed marriages. Why there is failed marriages? It's like that only with the failed ERP. It could be anything. It's a wrong relationship with the vendor. When maybe the customer is too hard,
Yeah,
and
even
they
I have
went
seen
live. Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of customers. It is failed due to the compatibility. It's not fit to their business.
One company was there. The posted transaction I want to delete. Why you want to delete? In my system I can delete. In my software I can delete the transactions. I don't want financial dimension. I need these vertical lines to be horizontal. Customer will complain, but you as a consultant, once you start working them, you should have patience, lot of patience. Don't become angry. Deal with smile and start speaking to them. Try to convince them. Don't accept every solution as it is. Okay.
Mhm,
You also provide some of the things. Okay, give, but you should do the research. If you're not sure, you should do the research. You should tell them what is the pro and cons. Escalate the things. And one
yeah.
of the more problem is that even from the developer side, they are managers. They just push. Clients say, "Okay, I want this." They will say yes. Say yes to everything. So it's experience. Experience comes with pain. But no need to worry. Now
Yeah.
we will see this part. Actually, the one of the questions related is the management. If you see the sacredness, this is one of the thing I'll discuss here. So organization hierarchy is required. Now in the company, there is organization hierarchy to run. The common word is okay, there is a CEO, then there is a vice president, then there is a manager, then there is an assistant manager, then there is a team leader, then you are here. Correct? So this is the organization hierarchy. One belongs to the HR, one belongs to the finance, one belongs to the budget, one belongs to the procurement, one belongs to the IT, sales and marketing, engineering team, manufacturing team, logistics teams. So this is the organization hierarchy and how they report. This is a common example. Now, role of management in decision making. Now, if you want to buy something, you have to do something, give some request in the dynamics. There is a common requirement to have a proper flow. If I want to buy something, you as a request, you will create some request. It goes to your team leader, then goes to your manager, and up till here, it should approve. If it is more than 50,000, it should go to your president. It's more than 1 million, it should go to the CEO. A typical workflow process, because this is your management hierarchy. Sometimes they create a different hierarchy internally just for the to make process smooth, especially in the stores when they receive something. So they have their own hierarchy. And let us see, what do you mean? What is there in the top? You will commonly hear as a board members, like chairman, all those people will be there in the board members, shareholders will be there. They are the key decision maker. What do you mean by key decision maker? Okay, how much it is there? So what is the key decision maker? They will do is the budgeting. They allocate the funds. They will decide which projects to go. And this is the people which eat the cream of the company's money. All right, they deal with the company, which company should get the project awarded. That is, this is the highest role. And also in the board members can be a CEO also. One more thing is CXO. You haven't heard about CXO. Is nothing but the CEO level role, chief CFO, chief finance officer, chief intelligence officer is nothing but the highest of the IT CEO. I mean, executive post. Just do the research, you will understand. So it will be easier when you hear this terminology when they communicate. Managers, of course, we have HR manager. I think this is clear, like finance manager, supply chain manager, or maybe any other manager. Reporting structure we discuss. And what do you mean by sacredness? See, sacredness is that you have to follow the hierarchy. It's a sacred rule. For example, a manager says, okay, this is the rule. I mean, this is how you have to do. And for example, I have to buy something. You have a good idea, but your manager is not good. You're directly going to this guy and getting the approval. What will happen? This will create problem. Maybe you may win or maybe you will lose. Why I'm telling this? Because in my organization, where it's a government-based organization, where I'm a contractor, if I do something out of their thing, no matter how logical it is, they will reject because I did not approach my manager. You may call it as a politics, somebody call it as a chamcha, whatever it is, but sacredness is very critical thing you have to keep in mind, working wherever you are. Also, I'll tell you the references in the dynamics. Let me jump to the different slide.